All right, welcome in. Moose at the Box, presented by Gotlit Light Installers. Tigers win 6-2. Your final score over North Alabama. LSU takes the series. The story is obviously on the mound today. LSU, Anthony Ianson and Zach Cowan combined for 20 strikeouts, just 3 walks, 8 straight zeros after the first inning. 6 of those put up by Ianson. And after the first inning, this might be the most impressive stat of the entire game. Where you look at the 20 Ks, that's awesome. After the first inning, North Alabama did not have a hit. They collected 2 hits in the first, drove in 2 runs. They did not have a hit for the next 8 innings. LSU, when you strike out 20, that's going to happen. The only base runners were walks. You didn't hit anybody today. LSU was awesome on the bump. You've used 4 pitchers so far. You have walked a total of 4 on the weekend. And on Saturday, you punched out 20. We'll go into Ianson's outing in depth. We'll talk about the offense for the Tigers. 6 runs, 9 hits. Nice. Scored in the first, the third, and the fifth, and then added a single run in the 8th. You could have had a little bit more, but a little bit of a base running blunder there on the squeeze bunt. LSU created chaos, though, and I mean, it ultimately it worked out for them in that regard. Let's just go ahead and dive right into the game. We'll start in the top of the first with Ianson. Gets the first guy swinging, then issues the walk, and then follows that up. He left the breaking ball up. It is roped inside the line at third for a double, getting the first run on the board. The next hitter was Kraska. He would single, drive in a second run. You had a mound visit from that point on from Jay Johnson, and from that point, Anthony Ianson locked back in. And he struck out the final 2 hitters of the first and proceeded to not give up a hit and throw up 6 consecutive zeros and go 7 innings complete, 2 walks, 2 hits, 2 earned, 15 strikeouts, and did all of it on less than 100 pitches. He was awesome. It wasn't quite the total outing that we wanted to see from Ianson, but you wanted him to kind of just be crisp right off the start, but that's as close as you're going to get, I feel like right now, and we're not going to shake a stick at it because he was awesome. I mean, he settled in great, and I tell you what stood out. That splitter that he's got, that's that pitch kind of in the low 80s. That thing's a weapon, and he pitched off of that today. I mean, when they figured out, okay, he's got the feel for it, Yeskie really featured it, and he pitched off of the splitter. And when he's doing that, and then he can flip that 12-6 curveball in there, man, that's really, really, really good. That's really strong. So I thought he ended up mixing his pitches really well. The fastball was back up to 95 really consistently today for Ianson. That was good. Look, what you're looking for is dominant effort going into SEC play. And you've gotten that from Cade Anderson, and you've gotten that from Anthony Ianson as well. And then Zach Cowan backing him up. I mean, that kid's awesome. He's fantastic. I really, really like him as a weapon out of the bullpen. You can use him in so many different ways. So that straight changeup that he has is beautiful. But big tip of the hat to Ianson. That's his best outing of the year so far, and he needed it after the outing he had against Nebraska. And yeah, it's North Alabama. Sure, totally understand. But you did see him go through the lineup 3 times, which is something you haven't seen from him yet this season either. So moving forward with that's definitely a positive. It checks a box with your starting rotation, and that's something that you're interested in seeing right now if you're Jay Johnson and Nate Yeskie and LSU. So, I mean, that really kind of covers it from a pitching standpoint. Offensively, for LSU, you end up with the 9 hits and the 6 runs. It wasn't LSU's best offensive day, but they handled the conditions really nicely. When I pulled up to the box, the wind was blowing out again. Right before first pitch, it shifted and started blowing in. It robbed Jared Jones of 2 home runs, and it robbed Derek Curiel of an opposite field home run in the ball game. But they played to the conditions well, and they took advantage of opportunity for the most part fairly well. You look at it in the first inning, Curiel, I believe he popped up, didn't he? On the infield, or either a foul out. Jared Jones comes up, drills the double off the top of the center field wall. Looked like it was going to carry out of the park, just couldn't. We'll chalk that up to the wind. But you have a 1-out double there. Dickinson can't get anything going, but ultimately you're able to push Jones home. It was that RBI single from Fry that pushed Jones home, and you get the 1 run on the board. Fast forward to the bottom of the 3rd, and this is a part where you could have had the big inning, and you didn't. So you end up with the single from Curiel, the double from Jones to follow. Curiel was waved home, and his feet just left him. I mean, he slipped and fell right on his backside. It's not normally what you see, somebody running full speed. Normally you take a tumble forward. I don't really know how it happened, but it happened. Looked like he was going to be dead at third base. Ultimately, he gets back, which was huge. But Dickinson punches out. Fry hits a pop-up just off on the outfield grass. It's caught. And then, I mean, the second baseman makes an inexcusable play and fires the ball home, and it gets past the catcher, and Curiel's able to score. So you were lucky to get the run there. I mean, they gave you a gift. That was not a well-executed offensive inning from LSU by any stretch of the imagination after the first 2. But you end up tying the game. You go forward to the 5th, and this was LSU's best offensive inning for a couple of different reasons. Obviously, you put up a 3 spot and really got your separation that you needed in the ball game. But Stanfield, who had a rough day at the plate, drew a walk to start the inning, and you flip the lineup, and then you end up Curiel. That's when he hit the long double to left field, where if the wind's not blowing, that ball probably carries out. That scores Stanfield all the way from first, and then Jones comes up behind that with 2 strikes, launches a ball into orbit, went all the way into the parking lot in left field. No doubt shot through the wind. I mean, that ball was smoked, and that gives you the 3 spot and the 5 runs. And then again, you load the bases with nobody out in the 8th, and that was when Braswell got his first at bat. And man, I really perked up to see that one, because he's been struggling at the plate. Tanner Reeves had a great Friday night, and you're looking at Braswell there going, okay, can you come through here and get off the struggle bus? This would have been a big spot for you, and it could have been a big hit. Ultimately, he couldn't. He struck out on 3 pitches, and that was really, really disappointing to see. But then Stanfield comes up. That's when you have the whole suicide squeeze. LSU, we can look at it and say it wasn't as productive of an offensive day as they've been having, and it wasn't. But I love the way they manufactured. They knew they needed an insurance run at that point, and they made it happen. You had an opportunity with a guy like Stanfield that handles the bat well. So you go ahead and go suicide on it, and Milam scores from third. Pearson, really aggressive, rounds third, never stopped, and ultimately is tagged out at home plate. But that's how you ended up with your 6 runs. Jared Jones, your offensive hero here today. 3-hit day, 2 doubles, and the homer. Just awesome to see after LSU had the barrage of home runs last night and the barrage of offense, and Jones smoked it a couple times on Friday night. Just had nothing to show for it, but did end up with something to show for it here here on Saturday and was awesome. So you give him offensive player of the game. You give Anthony Ianson, I guess, defensive player of the game, or just overall player of the game. He was fantastic. Somebody just asked how far the Bear Jones home run. I don't have an exact number on you, but I mean, I watched it bounce in the parking lot. Like, it landed in the parking lot and bounced. So if you're familiar with left field of the box, obviously you have the bleachers and there's a fence that goes around the stadium. It cleared all of that, bounced in the parking lot when it landed, and one hop to that other back fence that separates some working area in U-High's field that they do there. I mean, it was an absolute blast from Jared Jones. Gotlit Light Installers, gotlitlights.com. Go there, you get a quote. Any outdoor lighting that you need, permanent landscape lighting or temporary outdoor lighting if you're hosting a party, Gotlit Lights can do that. Again, it's custom design, custom fit, no loose lights. They will cut it to fit your specific design. They do great work over there. It's not just Christmas lights, and it's not just lights anymore, y'all. You want a nice wreath, decorative wreath or something for your front door, whether it's Mardi Gras, you got Easter coming up, Gotlit Lights, they can do that for you too. They've completely expanded without losing the great relationship building and customer service that they provide. Gotlit Light Installers, gotlitlights.com for a quote. All right, gang, we have a few minutes here left. We've kind of gone through the game. Let's go ahead and take some questions as we like to do. Smash the like button if you have not already. Get subscribed up to the podcast and on the YouTube channel. And we can start turning this over to y'all. What do y'all want to talk about? Doesn't even have to be baseball if you don't want it to be at this point. It's a big Cloud Zach. Ethan Fry continuing to come through. Yes, and something we'll talk about plenty. Unless Missouri and Texas change their rotations, LSU is going to face 3 lefties in a row the next 2 weekends. So that's when you've really seen Fry in the lineup is starting against lefties at DH. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But yes, I mean, Ethan Fry's been awesome so far this year. Andrew Smith, John Pearson at third. Not third, I don't think yet, and I'm saying that just based off of what Jay Johnson has said, where they want him to get a little lighter in the feet before they put him over at third base in a real game. But that's a guy who I would like to see get a start at DH. I mean, he's mashed the baseball every time he's come in. He's hitting over 500 right now in his limited at-bats. Again, it's limited at-bats, but if he keeps hitting the baseball, bring it on. I want to see more of John Pearson. I mean, when he got that pinch hit today, the crowd erupted. Like, when he walked up to the plate for the pinch hit, the crowd went absolutely nuts. So it's great to have another Pearson in the lineup, that's for sure. Let's see. A lot of y'all are on the Ethan Fry train right now. I'd love to see that. Lou asked, what's Larson's future? Larson's got to hit the ball. I mean, that's if he doesn't hit the ball, his future is what you saw today, late in the game, pinch hit opportunity. I don't think it's that simple though for Larson. We saw him come on for SEC play, and ultimately I think he will fight for playing time on this team. I do. He's too talented. The approach at the plate is normally too good for him not to do that. So I expect Ashton Larson, before the season is over, to fight for some playing time. Now, he needs to get it going a little bit. I really think he just needs to see one fall in. Even if he just makes hard contact right now, I think that would help. Because it's been a lot of swing and miss for Ashton Larson. Ethan Fry burner. How many player burner accounts do we have now? There's now an Ethan Fry. We have an Ashton Larson, a Josh Pearson, and, of course, Tommy White. That's 4. Are we up to 4? Somebody just asked something there. Hold on. Let's see. Braswell stay in the lineup. Bad AB striking. No, I mean, I don't think that he does. I think you see Tanner Reeves start again tomorrow. That was a really, really poor at bat for Michael Braswell there in the 8th inning. Ethan Fry burner wants to know where the Jake Brown power has been. I mean, he hit, 4 or 5 home runs a year ago. I'm a little surprised he hasn't found the fence yet, but it'll come. It'll come. Like we've seen it in spurts a season ago. I do believe that it will come for Jake Brown. I'm not too concerned there. Will Corin, any changes in batting order you would make at this point? I think they're pretty set. I'll tell you something that was big today was Hernandez catching Ianson. Because his previous 3 starts, that was K to Aaron Beatty every time. And I was wondering if it was just a spot to get Aaron Beatty work or if that was something that Ianson preferred. Clearly, it was a spot to get Aaron Beatty some work. So that shows you there, Will, for one, they've solidified catcher with Luis Hernandez probably going forward. I would expect to see him out there again tomorrow, and they're getting him used to catching 3 games in a weekend because that's going to happen when you get into SEC play because he's clearly your best option. Other than that, in the lineup, I think Tanner Reeves gets first crack right now at third base. I would like to see Sunday, I'd like to see John Pearson start at DH, but I'm not counting on that happening. But it feels very similar with John Pearson as it did with Ashton Larson. Because Larson was the guy a season ago that every time you put him in the pinch hit, he just kept coming through and kept hitting the ball and got hard to deny him. And once you put him in the lineup, you couldn't get him out. I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case for Pearson, John, that is, unless he does end up getting some time at third because they have too many guys that they want to rotate in at DH. But I would really, really, really like to see John Pearson get a start at DH, whether it be Sunday or Tuesday against Xavier. That's the other change in the lineup. But I think you can see who their guys are going forward in SEC play in the lineup. I really do. It's going to be Curiel, Jones, Dickinson. I think Josh Pearson is going to get plenty run there. Ethan Fry, I think those are your main 2 that are going to rotate at DH. And then if Larson can get it going again, he's another option. But I think your outfield, I think Brown's got right field mainly locked down. I think Reeves is going to get some more run at third. And then Milam, Dickinson. I think they've pretty much settled, which is great. Y'all, we have to see it against SEC play and teams, and I fully understand that. And I'm not crowning this team champions right now. They're far from that. But it is coming together faster than it did a season ago. At least it appears that way. So that's a really good thing. I did see another one that I wanted to answer. Randy Jones gave his SEC prediction at 20-10. I'll stick with mine from preseason at 19-11. That's really kind of where I always settle in on, really, when it comes to seasons. Cornholio, early SEC preview for next week. You could face 3 lefties, depending on if Missouri changes. I don't know what they've done against Binghamton this weekend, but they came into this week at 6-6. They're hitting just below 300 as a club, but the pitching staff has been really, really rough. Their ERA going into this weekend was around 7. Missouri's not a very good baseball team. It doesn't mean they don't have good players. They're in the SEC. They have some good players, but as a team, they're not great. Give me some time. We'll dig more into it, as we get closer to the week. But that's kind of an early preview. No, at 23-7, this is a tough schedule still, man. That's. I agree with you. I think they settle in somewhere around 19. Are they capable of 23-7? I guess, but against this schedule, that's good. But no, I'm with you. I think they do settle in around 19 to 20. I still like LSU's SEC schedule a lot. Okay, so they lost to Binghamton last night, according to CloudZac. It's a tough scene, gang. It's a tough scene. Cornholio, give us your take on the pitching staff so far. I would like to do that tomorrow. Because I want to see how Chase Shore goes. But so far this weekend, you used 4 pitchers. Anderson got you through 6. Ianson got you through 7. Each of them struck out double digits. This has been a great weekend so far, what I've wanted to see from the staff. Low walk totals. This has been good, but you've only used 4. So I want to reserve full judgment, and we'll obviously talk plenty about that as we go forth. We'll do another listener Q&A next week as well, so be prepared for that. But right now, the staff is checking the boxes. Checking the boxes for the final weekend here of pre-conference. Let's see. Hold on. Cloud Zach, think we see Connor Ware tomorrow? I think there's a chance. Yes, I do. Jay Johnson mentioned that after the North Dakota State series, so I do. I think there's a good chance we see Connor Ware this weekend. Taylor Brooks, Reeves taking that third base spot from Braz. Tyler, right now, yeah. I mean, he's been pretty consistent. Didn't have a great day at the plate today, but I mean, last night was really, really impressive. Cornholio, seen enough. Give Yeski a 3-year, $5 million extension. I remember last season, halfway through, and everybody wanted to fire Nate Yeski. Khalid Brignac, latest on Guidry. It's a lower back injury. No real change. They feel like they're making good progress. They're just not going to rush it. You don't rush a back, man. A back is something that can follow you for the rest of your life. So you just kind of, you take it day by day and go. Next week is another target that they have, and hopefully we'll see it. Hopefully we'll see him next week. But lower back is the official diagnosis, and again, you definitely take that. You definitely take that in stride and take that easy. Will asks about Dalton Beck. I like Dalton Beck. I think his role for this team is on the mound and probably more than likely in the midweek. But you're looking for a lefty option on the weekend. His stuff plays. He just has to be in the zone with it because it's not overpowering. The kid can really hit the ball, but whose spot is he taking? That's the question. Cornholio, any upcoming weddings? No. Y'all, the wedding season for me is done for a while, unless, I mean, I have no more friends that are engaged. They're all engaged or they're all married now. I have a few that will be getting engaged soon, but we're probably a few years away from weddings. Unless I get invited to one or the girlfriend takes me to one, but I don't think I'm going to be going live from any of those. Wedding Muso's not dead, Dustin B. Not dead. Just, Glenn, I am not getting engaged anytime soon. We are a long way away from that. Wedding Muso is not dead, Dustin B. He will never die, as a matter of fact. He's just on hiatus now. All right. Any more questions? Khalid Brignac gets it. Crawfish boil Muso tomorrow, as a matter of fact. First one of the season. Your boy's boiling 3 sacks. Fired up for it. It's going to be a great time. And we'll have the game on in the background, so we'll be able to keep an eye on that. Pool party Muso. Yeah, that's always fun too. The crawfish boil Muso, pool party Muso kind of go hand in hand. We just call that summer Muso. Like the Summer of George from Seinfeld. Summer of Muso is coming up here, gang. Like it's going to be really, really strong. Stream what, Cornholio? Stream what? Probably a week early on this, but you think Schmidt sticks? Oh no, you're gonna see him in the bullpen in conference play. I think what you'll see Schmidt get the start Tuesday against Xavier, but he won't go deep, and they'll get him they'll get him ready for the weekend, like you saw them do Cade Anderson a year ago. That's what you'll see, I do believe, with William Schmidt. He's too valuable. You can't just use him in the midweek. You're not going to waste that guy in the midweek. Boy, I really love that y'all enjoy the debauchery that I put on this stream sometimes with me being hammered and shirtless and all those things. That makes it all worthwhile. Shout out to the super chat. Don't know who that was, but I'm assuming it was DJ Trauma Gaming. He loves to throw those in there. Appreciate you if that's who it was. If not, just appreciate you in general. All right, guys. I'm trying to think if y'all ever seen Drunk Mad Muso, Big Mill. Cornholio, that was not a farmer's tan, okay? You chill, sir. It was the lighting. We had a good tan last summer. Wait a minute. No, I take that back. That was pre-beach, so you're probably right. That was pre-beach. It was pre-beach. Yeah, I hate the young team thing. Tyler Brooks. Why do I keep calling you Taylor? Tyler Brooks is right. I hate the young team excuse. It aggravates the hell out of me every year. No, Cornholio, you're right. That was Farmer's Tan. You're right. I forgot it was SEC Championship against Tennessee. So yeah, that was Memorial Day. So that was before the beach trip. You see, we don't have live streams in July after we've been to the beach and the lake and all that, and we're looking good. So, y'all don't really get that. We need Wedding Muso once a year. Well, guys, I'm sorry. I mean, weddings. I'm out of weddings right now. I'm out of weddings. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go to the grocery store, actually, to finish prepping for said crawfish boil tomorrow. Y'all smash the like on your way out. Get subscribed if you have not if you have not already. And smash the like and get subscribed. Glenn's gonna find someone's wedding to send me to. Look, if you want to invite me to a wedding, I will go. I love weddings. They're great. They are some of the best fun. I love them. I would like to meet the couple in advance, so I'm not just there acting a complete ass at somebody's wedding that I've never met. But I love weddings. They're fantastic. All right. Y'all smash the like, get subscribed, got lit light installers, go work with my friends. And we will be back tomorrow after the series is over for the full weekend recap. Later.